So I'm going to call to order this meeting of the Los Altos City Council Legislative Committee. It's 2:35 because we had a little technical glitch. And so what we're going to talk about today are bills and what we want to deal with at the meeting next week. So I'm going to start sharing screen. Lynette, I'll show you what I updated as best I can from the list. Let's see if I can make the screen sharing work correctly. That's always an interesting exercise. Word. Okay. I think this is the right one. We'll see. Yay. Okay, can you see? Try to move it a little bit. Can you see where it says current list of bills being tracked for possible action?
I can see it.
I did my best to, because there's so much going on this week, to update this, but even Legiscan and Leginfo are, I don't think are completely up to date. But can you just take a minute and see, especially I added the two that that Councilmember Flagger wanted. And then I've added a line as to status. So can you go through these? Tell me when you want me to scroll up and see if there's anything on here that looks off to you according to what you know.
Okay.
Tell me when you want me to scroll.
Okay, I'm just reviewing.
Okay.
Okay, you can scroll up now.
You don't have to hurry. It's no big deal.
Okay, great.
Take your
Yeah.
time.
Okay, if you could scroll up, I'd
Okay.
appreciate that.
Hopefully that works.
Oh, go up just one. I just want to miss. I think I missed one. Oh, no.
Oh, the other way? That way?
Yeah, there's there.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, and then if you could scroll up a little.
There's only a couple more.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for putting that together.
Yeah, so let me go back to the beginning and kind of walk through where I think we are on these. Because most of the policy committees have to meet by the end of, or by the middle of next week, and they're actually meeting before our council meeting. The only things that we can really do at this point are a couple that, well, I'll go through and tell you which ones I think we should basically focus on the ones that, there's three of them that Cal Cities has already taken important opposed positions on, and that they've asked for support letters from cities on, and they've got draft letters that we can use. Because like this first one, okay, so AB 1944 is going to be in local government next week. There's no way we can get a letter there in time.
Okay.
That is, we can do letters on others of these by May 10th and have them still influence either appropriations or floor votes, but not get to policy committees. So like AB 2053, we could still do a letter in May that would hit appropriations on the floor.
Okay.
2063, I don't know that anything is gonna stop that one until it gets to the other house, if that. AB 2097 is one that Cal City's opposed, and even the letter we would do would go to the author to housing and community development because it's not scheduled. And we would have to get permission to put it from the council to also send it to appropriations and to the floor. That's, I think, an action thing for us. 2164 is in suspense at appropriations. I'm not, we probably want to support that one. But again, it's on suspense and appropriation, so there's not an urgency to do it for next week. The 2221, we're not going to be able to affect unless or until they send it over to appropriation. So that one can wait. 2625, there's that, I'm not sure that one's even going to move. And the same with 2762. I'm not sure that one's going to move. Although 2762 looks like a spot bill to me. So you agree?
Yeah.
So I don't, there's nothing to do with that one right now anyway, because it's not even scheduled for any hearings. SB 897 is a strong opposed. Oh, that's what I forgot to put in here. This is a Cal Cities opposed. So that's what I think we ought to look at doing.
Okay.
And let's see, then 922, that's over at appropriations, that can wait. 930, I'm not sure it's going to go anywhere. So that one, there's no point in doing anything with. 932 is a Cal Cities oppose that I think we should look at. And 1067, although that's a Cal Cities opposed, it only affects cities that are more than 200,000. So I think right now it's not going to be a high priority for us, other than at some point we probably want to support Cal Cities and support other cities that are large cities just as a gesture kind of thing, but not an urgent one. And SB 1292, I don't think is going anywhere. So I think where that puts us is at three of these. So let me put up what I have for
897,
yeah,
SB 897.
let me, I got to do a different screen share to do this.
Okay.
So let me start with the one that's a Microsoft, that's a Word doc. This is 932.
Okay.
And there's they did one to that's a you know how they sometimes do those like collaborative things with other organizations. So they did a collaborative one with the American Planning Association, with the urban counties, with rural counties. So they got a gang of people together, but what's here is almost the same as what's in the one that they sent as their group one. And the thing that I would suggest we change in this is I'd summarize a lot of what's in the second paragraph. I don't want to have you have to read all that stuff, but basically what they talk about is, you know, all that, what's outstanding in the way of how much stuff there is for people for cities to do already. And
Mm-hmm.
I think instead to put in, because then there's a place, as you'll see down below, you know how there's always a section, cite how your city will be affected. I think we should say, we can get this from Jim Solomon, you know, we've spent funds under SB1, we've spent funds under Highway Safety Improvement Act and and we have just finished, and really focus on that, we've just finished our Complete Streets Master Plan.
Mm-hmm.
And that we are doing much of what while we intend to do much of what is actually in the bill, that the mandates are problematic because of funding, and cite the costs that are in the Complete Streets Master Plan, what the total cost is, and what kind of a hit that is to our budget, what it's going to take for us to even do what's there. And then the thing that's really the problem with this bill is this last paragraph, because what it basically says, and this is for the 9 largest counties, which includes us, because I think we're the 8th, 7th, or 8th largest county. If we don't meet the implementation timeframes, it allows anybody to have a cause of action against the city. So, yeah.
So when we also cite how our cities are being affected, we should also make reference to that many cities right now are dealing with an issue of limited employees, you know,
Yep, that's a good point.
so that because our many of the cities are suffering through this.
Yep.
So if we can highlight that as well.
Yeah, and I think I want to mention about escalating costs for street maintenance and work because of the price of gas.
And also the delays of chain supply issues.
Yep.
So will you add that paragraph in
So
there?
I'll do that, and I'll get some information from Jim Sandoval.
Okay.
Okay, and then that, I think, and then I'll compress the second paragraph,
Okay.
and that'll take care of that one.
Okay.
Okay, let me see what happens if I go to see if I can find the next.
But also, should we also reference that we really don't know how, we got to understand, like, when we look at these items, how it affects business communities as well, the impacts on business communities nearby.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And I also want to mention, because he does in the draft of the bill about it, basically safe routes to school. So we ought to say, you know, we've prioritized that. We agree with the importance of that. So I want to, because I think he's trying to do the right thing. He just doesn't realize what a impossible burden this is the way it's written. And
Correct.
I think that's why Cal Cities has said oppose unless amended. And so that's why I think we should do the same thing, oppose unless amended.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, next one. Let's see if I can find. Okay, let's do.
That was 932. Okay, and then 8.
Do AB 2097. This is one of yours. And I grabbed this. Can you see this okay?
Yeah.
Enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My concern here is, well, no, this to me is a very straightforward oppose. The idea that we would not be able to require any parking is
Right.
astonishing to me. And so the oppose is pretty short and sweet.
Okay.
And so I don't think it'll take much cleaning this up
Correct.
to make it work for us.
Yeah, all we have to do is change out Cal cities and put our city.
Yeah, pretty much. It might be good to indicate that it predominantly would affect El Camino Real, which is where we already are doing a lot of multifamily,
Mhm,
but that removing all parking will immediately throw parking into our neighborhoods. So I
mhm.
think I want to put that in this, we should put that in the second paragraph.
Okay,
Uh, So that's about the only, super cleanup in here.
okay, sounds good.
Okay. Um, and then, let's see, this is 2097. And then the third one is that one, this one.
Can you move the
Yep.
page? Yeah, center it.
This is basically the same. Let me go look at something here just a second. Oh no, I've missed something. My mistake. This is, we just did this one. Whoops, stop.
No, we didn't do this one. This is the one we want to do. We never reviewed this.
Hang on.
This is correct.
No, this is the one we just talked about.
No, we did 2097,
Yeah.
but this is 897.
Oh, wait.
The last one
All
was,
right, sorry. I had the screen showing on my own was all screwed up. Sorry. Yeah, you're
so
right.
this is
the-
correct.
Yep, this is the one that allows, what's funny is that this isn't even in the summary, in the staff summary, that it allows them to go to 25 feet. And the other thing that, because I'd read the bill kind of quickly, when
Mhm,
I went back and read it again, and then I read the letter, the second bullet point is really bizarre. I mean,
mhm,
what they put in the law is bizarre.
mhm. So I think the one thing that we should emphasize is that allowing ADUs to go up to 25 feet is higher than the height restriction we have on our single family home.
I think we're at 27 feet, aren't we? I think 2-story is 27 feet. I'll look it up.
Okay,
But
okay,
even so, the point here
but
is
it's
we're
it's
we're
higher than our,
mostly a 1-story community.
yeah, and it's higher than our 1-story homes.
So I like what they said, that the last sentence, shoehorning a 25-foot structure into the backyard of a single-story ranch home calls to question the idea that these are accessory dwelling units.
Mhm, I know.
Jason got himself really cranked up with this one. And
No,
then to
that's,
allow ADUs that don't conform to code, it's just,
yeah.
that's just blew me away. And then to allow you to construct ADUs when there's no, the other development isn't there yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Then it's not an ADU if the other development's not present.
Yeah, there's nothing accessory about that.
That's right. So it doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, so anyway, I think this one can go basically just the way it
Yeah,
is.
change it out. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So I think it's those three. And then the other ones that I went through, that where there's a possibility for affecting appropriations or floor votes, that's going to be the hard work between now and the May 10th meeting. But we'll also know which ones, we won't be wasting any time because we'll know which ones are actually getting out of policy committees. and which ones aren't. Because the policy committees have to be done by the 26th.
Okay, and then I think maybe we could say something about that, should any changes occur and Cal Cities submits anything to us for, at that time, we can request that should the time the committee meets and we get more information from Cal Cities, we could just automatically include it for future discussions. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay, that's okay.
Are you talking about stuff that's already on the list or these 3 bills?
No, things that are on the list that we haven't, like we're saying, we're clearly clear on the 3 letters we want to present.
Right.
But suppose something happens in between and Cal Cities is saying, this thing is moving really fast. And at this time, we would like to ask for your assistance to take a look at this, that if something like that were to occur in the future, that between the time the legislative committee meets and the council meeting, we might just have to add it to the list.
Well, add it to the list is not a problem. Doing a letter is a problem. What I want to be sure we have authority to do is, at least on these 3, if they move to the floor, that we can send the letters to the floor as well as to the committee right now. So right now we do the committee, but if these go to the floor before we meet again on May 10th,
Yeah,
or whatever our next meeting is, that we can send them to the floor. That I want to be for sure about.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of, yeah, you've articulated it better.
Okay. Let me make a note, hang on. Okay, let's go back. Let me just see if there's anything. I'm going to go back to the list for a minute. Okay, I need to find your list. That's the one you want. Now, screen share. I think this is the one I want. So the things that could be at appropriations.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just look at one thing here.
I also want to ask some items, maybe we should also just discuss and not have to take a letter, like the AB 2053.
Yeah, hang on just a sec. Let me hang on, hold that thought. Let me get my brain wrapped back around the calendar for a second. We have time on May 10th to do letters on anything that may be going to that's already passed and may be going to the floor that did not go to a fiscal committee, did not go to appropriations, or to act on something that is in appropriations. So that's what I wanted to verify in my own mind for a second. Okay. So then you're concerned about 2053.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's an appropriations bill. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm going to just put some notes as we go through these. Okay, so this one I'm going to put in caps. I'm going to put May 10. We want a letter.
Yes.
On that one.
But then should we like have a discussion at this next meeting so we can better gauge how the council feels about this. And then that way we don't have to present 2 letters. We could just get everybody's views on this, and then we could just say, okay, I guess, for example, if we're all clear, we want to oppose it, then it's easy for us to just say, okay, let's bring a letter back on May 10th for a letter of opposition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if we've got the time to prep the briefing material. And if we don't have
Okay.
the briefing material ahead of time, they're not gonna wanna talk about it.
Okay, just a summary? You don't think a summary is good? Okay,
Yeah, we could put the summaries to get, I can pull the legislative report.
yeah,
So, the ones that, hang on a sec.
and then you already presented the letter on 897, so that letter is ready to go.
Well, I can put that together. That's not a problem. So these are the 3 that it looks to me like we for sure want to talk about for May 10th because they're appropriations,
Mm-hmm,
they're things in appropriations. Now the ones, and then obviously the ones we're already doing, hopefully we wouldn't have to bring them back.
right.
But that means the ones that are hanging out there as question marks are the first one, are 1944.
Mm-hmm,
And I know because that was discussed at the Cities Association, the Santa Clara County Cities Association, because they had the assembly member there to present his bill. And there was a lot of talk that it's just not fully baked yet. So I'm not sure it's really going to go anywhere.
mm-hmm.
And then I think we may want to watch this one.
Okay,
Hang on. Possibly to support. This is a small business bill. I don't know if you had a chance to read it since Nisa asked to put it on. I took a look. Again, they had a at the Ledge Committee meeting last week. The assembly member presented about this, and it basically provides it allows the Disability Access and Education Fund to provide financial assistance. Basically, it's a loan and repayment for small businesses to comply with ADA.
uh-huh,
And helps small business understand ADA requirements and then get in compliance so they don't get sued by, that guy that's been running around suing everybody.
right, yeah,
So that might well be one that we want to support. I don't know where 2121 is going to go. I don't think 2625 is going to go anywhere. I don't think 2762 is going to go anywhere. 922, I don't know if that's going to go anywhere. It depends on if appropriations moves. But it's something that we might have an interest in. So maybe that's a May 10. So the ones that are that I've mentioned as May 10s, I will pull summaries on.
okay. And then we can include them for discussion and see how.
For discussion.
Okay, that sounds good. But then the 3 letters that we have, we
Yeah.
will present it and make sure that we're ready to go to the committees as well as the floor when necessary.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, to the committees or to appropriation and or to the floor of the originating house.
okay. And if you can do the presentation, that'd be great.
Sure, that's not a problem, but you always have good points, so, always feel free to
I
add,
will.
like the stuff
Thank you.
that you gave me just now is really good stuff.
Thank you.
So my goal is to get this to at least the drafts of the 3 letters to Andrea by tomorrow morning. So
Okay,
be out to people, and hopefully I can pull the summaries on these other, what are there, 5 bills? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
all right.
Yeah, these other 5 bills. So that can all go in the update tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay,
I think that's good.
let me stop sharing. And I don't see anybody else who has come in. So I think
So no
just us.
public comment needed.
Nuh-uh. I didn't see anybody come in during the course of the meeting, so. With no members of the public present and therefore no one to make comments on items either not or on the agenda, we will adjourn this meeting at 3:06. Thank you very much.
Thank you.